5 ways to beat the heat. Now, we all have different sensitivities to temperature, especially heat. And if we get too much heat, we have a lot of problems. We start shutting down, we can get dizzy and nauseous, and we can have other more severe issues such as heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and even death. So, how do you curtail these things, especially since we're now in summer? Well, the first thing is to stay hydrated. You have to have plenty of liquids and also replenish your electrolytes. So you're going to have something that has a little bit of decent amount of salt, not a lot, because too much salt makes you even more thirsty, but just a little bit of salt also. So maybe have a very small snack when you have your water. And that might be better overall than just having water. So number 2, this is just me. I love having a do-rag. This is called a Dundee rag. It's basically like a washcloth, but with a fancy name. This is a really old one. It's actually damp right now. I have water on it. And basically, long story short, you just soak it in cool or cold water, and it just remains for a while. This one actually is 90% cotton. I'd even prefer 100%, and probably the easiest way to go about any of this, if you want like a neck rag or a head rag or a cooling rag or whatever you want to call it, is to basically get 100% a cotton bandana. Soak that sucker, and you can even pop it in the refrigerator for like 30 minutes to an hour and get it real cold. And if you're going outside and doing like a little hike or a walk, you can also just put them in your cooler. If you're out and about and you're going out into the campsite, have a couple bandanas sitting in there in your cooler, all cold. And if you go for your hike, you can just pop it on your neck or around your forehead, or even wrap it around your ankles or your wrist, and you're good to go. Number 3 is going to be light clothing. Clothing, if it's too tight and if it's not breathable, it's going to have some problems. Personally, I would kind of avoid most cottons for your actual clothing. I'd probably go with synthetic wicking material, things that will pull moisture from your body and help it to evaporate. That's just what I would do. Probably some type of a polyester blend. It could be a polyester or a nylon. I like polyester personally, a lightweight polyester clothes. And that includes even underwear and socks, believe it or not. Number 4, take a break. You don't have to go gun-ho all day. Sometimes taking a break, or at least slowing down, generates less body heat because there's less friction and movement. And that'll help cool you down just by moving slower, or just taking a seat for a few moments. And lastly, if you can try to avoid direct sunlight. And this can be done by having a certain type of hat with a full brim, or just not going out in somewhere that has full direct sunlight. And this can be done by just staying in the shade. If you can work in the shade, or do your chores in the shade, or do your chores before the sun comes up, or before the sun gets too intense, then do that. And these are a lot of things that just takes a little bit of forward thinking, forethought, and a little bit of planning, and you have these things can be solved pretty easily. Now, there's always going to be things that can happen, like your car breaks down on a highway, and literally it could be 100 degrees. You have almost an immediate crisis emergency there, especially if your car can't start and you have no air conditioning. And let's just hope that you have plenty of water, some type of tarp to make a shelter, and you might want to be making some phone calls for help. Heat can overtake you pretty quickly, believe it or not. And so let's all be careful and have a great summer. Thanks always for all your comments and support. This is The Art of Prepping, signing out. Thanks.